Alliances turn to ban. NIPs turn to ban. Alliances turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. NIPs turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. Alliances turn to pick.
Clockwork!
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. NIPs turn to pick. Alliances turn to pick.
I speak for the trees.
As we dig deep to try and find the energy to get ourselves through this ninth game actually of the day here for ESL 1 Germany, we welcome you guys back here to Alliance versus NIP. We're going the distance here from what we thought was going to be a clean 2-0 for Alliance. I've got my draft panel back here. Draft panel, regular panel, normal panel, post-game panel, whatever you guys want to be called. It's Godot, it's QO. We got the draft coming up, boys. We're expecting much different.
I think from NIP for sure. I mean, it didn't work out clearly. I mean, also their picks were just not, in my books, acceptable. The CM, the Luna Trilane into Weaver, the Bounty Hunter, safe lane solo, just there's no dynamics there. There's nothing you can flex in. It's just not a win condition at all. So they gotta change for sure.
Usually, if you're in first pick, like you really want to open up all these like strong laning heroes, but so meta, I just hated
5 seconds.
Yeah, it feels
so
really
much.
wrong, right? Feels yeah, bleh. Yeah. Well, fingers crossed that the NIP don't pick Crystal Maiden yet again, but luckily for us, we were able to see what the lobby was like, and NIP are going to be on Dire again, and Alliance gets second pick again, so they seem like this second pick shenanigans. And we talked about a little bit in the break the fact that just having a player like Limp as your last pick, he's kind of one of the only teams that we see, especially we don't see this much in Southeast Asia, being able to utilize that last pick and basically win a draft off the back.
Yeah, he's a very unconventional player. I mean, he does play your meta typical heroes in middle, but he's got those niche picks. We've saw it with the Timbersaw, now we've seen it with the Underlord. If you save him last pick, which they have once again, it's going to be pretty scary, because not only can they flexi his hero, but it's obviously just having that overall last pick to just completely crush mid and just set the pace to their team side. I mean, I see here now the openings is pretty standard from Alliance. They haven't changed. They picked the Rubik after the Clockwork for obvious reasons. You can lift once he tries to trap, and on top of that, just the hero that stays back, cast spells. Pretty easy to deal with the Clockwork in general. And they do play it as a 4 as well as 5, right? FNG has been playing it a lot of the time, so...
One thing that I like about like NIP is like the second pick, Nature's Prophet. I think he can at least like secure one lane, and I think they're gonna be able to secure the third and fourth pick like pretty reasonably. They are gonna see Alliances here first, and hope they first like figure it out like how to deal with this Mars first. It's like both Clockwork and Nature's Prophet doesn't do much.
So you kind of just want stronger lanes coming up from NIP, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I was talking about the Venge as well in the previous game. They could have actually opted to go for it. Obviously, not once they had the Crystal Maiden and the Clockwork together, but I mean, Alliance realizes that it's definitely an option. They've banned it out, so now there is no way to go for those Venge drafts that they actually like to go for. And I mean, even though Nature's Prophet is a nice hero for laning emphasis, I'm just worried that they don't get ahead in the laning phase and it just kind of falls flat. We've seen a lot of
10
games where
seconds
either
remaining.
Nature's Prophet starts really strong, he kind of sets the pace, but we've seen games as
5
well where he
seconds remaining.
gets okay in the laning phase, but it just doesn't really amount to much.
What are the bans? It's
So
a bit awkward that Alliance is spending time here.
yeah, it is kind of interesting, especially because, you know, a lot of the times when we talk about these bans, right, Q, it's basically just carry heroes a lot of the time, unless you get picked in the first two. But Alliance are really starting to dig deep into this reserve time, maybe trying to think a few bans ahead, a few picks ahead as well.
I think they're just considering whether
NIP's
they want to ban
turn to
Witch
ban.
Doctor or like something that annoys the like a Mars in lane, like some support heroes, because there hasn't been 5 and like they can just pick both carry and like post 5 heroes to
Yeah.
actually deal with it. And I think most likely Mars will be S4
10
hero.
seconds remaining. Alliances
Yeah, most
turn to
likely.
ban.
I mean, we don't know for sure whether Nature's Prophet's gonna go as well, right? They have played it mainly for Saberlight as the 3, but I would like to see this hero as a flexi,
Alliances
because
turn
if they
to
already
pick.
see this coming, obviously they're gonna pick certain heroes. I mean, you can just
turn to
throw the
pick.
Rubik's Pulse 4. Alright, a Warlock. Alright, it doesn't even shout out to be a Warlock game, but it's pretty good with the Mars, obviously. And maybe they want to go for more, because you said there wasn't as many hard carries being banned, having the Warlock to protect that your typical Nico Baby hard carry hero seems pretty good here.
10 seconds remaining.
I want to see something like Riki here.
For NIP,
5 seconds
For
remaining.
NIP, Riki and like maybe like LC after.
is that just to get on top of the Warlock and the ports, or is it something more nefarious?
I think like Riki is always like a really strong hero against Mars, and they already showed their 2 cards. It's gonna be Mars Rubik or something else. But I'm most likely expecting it's gonna be
Alliances
Mars.
turn to pick.
Do you think like maybe like a
And
okay?
Well,
Oh, this is another hero that Kira doesn't like.
Well, this is NIP, right? They're so lane emphasis when it comes to their drafting. They really want to get ahead and they want to use that advantage to kind of set the pace of the game and just kind of run
10
with it.
seconds
But
remaining.
I'm also on the same page. Unless they can actually flex it
5
this Undying, but
seconds
I think it's
remaining.
very unlikely. It's just going to be a position 5 Undying to deal with the Mars, and they're going to try to probably pick Charlie a more standard hard carry this particular game. I think Ricky's still pretty damn good though in this scenario here. And because Alliance normally plays these not really... Generally they play roaming supports, but in this particular game and the previous game as well, they were running these squishy supports. Obviously Mars Arena doesn't do anything to the Rikimar. And now he's going to have a free lane, obviously with the Undying there. So it actually sounds pretty legit.
What are we thinking for Alliance on the other hand, QO?
let's go PA, the revenge battle.
Oh,
NIP
he actually just
turn
wants
Is this
it.
the first time?
Oh,
Okay.
it's
Oh, okay. He's gonna troll. Okay. Well, they don't really have good ways of locking the troll warlord down, so he seems to have a pretty free battle trance, right?
And it's because like they
NIP's
know
turn
that
to
Nation
bat.
Prophet's gonna be most likely 3 and Timbersaw.
So,
So it's gonna
where's
be
the Timbersaw? Where's the Natures?
See, that's the thing about the Nature's Prophet. If
Full
this
melee
is
hero.
or
flexi-
carry now. Yep.
Yeah, if the Nature's Prophet is flexi, that'll be pretty good. But we don't know for
10
sure.
So
seconds.
maybe like a
remaining.
Supreme mid Nature's Prophet,
Yes.
Saberlight with the
5
Timbersaw.
seconds remaining.
Timbersaw clockwork though feels a little janky. We talked about having these strong lanes, but
I actually like it though.
Like it's fine just because like the Warlock and Troll doesn't have damage. Like
Yeah.
they just apply 0 damage, so like Clockwork can do so much, and Timbersaw can get like a solo EXP from this lane, and once he hits level 5, it's unkillable.
Yeah.
At this rate.
Alliances turn to ban.
okay. So I'd imagine these last couple of bands are going to try and shore up that that Timbersaw a little bit more here for Ninja's Pyjamas. One thing that's kind of sticking out to me is they don't really have much lockdown. Basically, we got Hook. That's all she wrote for NIP. So maybe another hero that's looking a bit more lockdown heavy.
10 seconds
What do all lads
remaining.
need, lads? They've got a lot of team fight. We've got a hero that can push towers. Got a hero that can scale.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, Zeus would have been your typical mid hero that they would
High
want.
keys
There's
turn to ban.
I mean, there's only one hero that can really deal with the Zeus here, which would have been the Clockwork. But I like Pugna as well as a replacement here. It's pretty good against the Timbersaw. Matchup-wise, it won't do too bad in general. And you want a hero that can kind of come online quicker and take those towers, because right now you don't really have anything of the sorts. And you know your
10
Mars is going to have a
seconds
pretty hard
remaining.
time against the Undying, so you need someone who can kind of accelerate the game.
5 seconds.
But if
remaining.
not the case, then someone who can create chaos, who can start fights and get the backline. We see a lot of Void Spirit generally as well coming from Alliance in the mid lane. And obviously NIP would still probably consider something as a hard carry to deal with the troll.
NIP should consider Morphling here, as long as like he's fine with the laning phase against Mars. I think it's good against both Warlock and Troll. Depends on like whatever the lane is. They can actually put Morphling mid too.
Okay.
So I think Alliance should be banning here because there's not. I mean,
is there anything else that you can think of that they should be banning here? Obviously, Morphling ban from them.
My perspective,
10
Morphling
seconds
or
remaining.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, it still does feel like
5
that
seconds
Ninjas in Pyjamas need their kind of hard carry, right? They need a good way of taking these towers. They need a good way of scaling a little bit.
The Nature's Prophet like pause one more. Like it will be like they'll be on a time limit.
Yeah.
Like especially when they're versing against Troll and if he goes Battlefield build.
30 seconds to go
NIP's
here for
turn
Alliance to
pick.
get rid of an Arc Warden. Okay. I mean, a little bit different here. Something that we've seen to really deal with these strength melee carries quite a lot. Safe lane here, but now Ninjas in Pyjamas
Alliance's turn
pick
to
of their
pick.
draft. Game number 3 is going to be a spicy one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that was
White
expected.
Duo's on the panel, guys. Very smart.
Yep.
Well, at this
Yep.
point, it kind of limits the option of going Pug in the middle because it's not great against the Rikimara as
Yep.
well.
That's the thing, like Riki, like I think it was
10
showing
seconds
pretty strong
remaining.
performance as mid as well in this tournament
Yeah.
so far. So you have
5
to
seconds
deal with
remaining.
either Nature's Prophet or Riki. Like Limp has to consider a lot. Like if he
Yeah.
picks range hero, Riki will be mid. If he just goes like
Strength Hero,
Strength Hero,
Timber
like
mid
yeah,
as
or
well.
Timber mid or like a Nature's mid. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have quite a lot of variability here with Ninjas in Pyjamas. Timbersaw can go mid, as you guys said. Nature's can go mid. Ricky can go mid.
Highly likely, I think Timber has to get locked down in the off lane this game, like to deal with the troll. And I think the lane swapping will be either between Nature's Prophet or Ricky.
Did they random?
You may now select
not
your
too sure.
heroes.
They were on 0 seconds if I look correctly. I'm not quite sure if that was a random or if that was a Necrophos. How are we feeling about it though? Obviously it's not too bad.
I think Necro will do fine. Against Nature's Prophet's not too bad either. I mean, NP normally has more attack damage, and as you can see, Supreme has selected the hero, so it's going to be an NP middle here most likely. I'm just worried about the side lanes. I feel Timber's going to have a free game. Clock's going to run around as well, give solo XP as QA stated before. He can come middle and provide some help for some kill potential when it comes to the mid matchup. And then Rikimara's going to have a pretty free game here. Whoa.
What's up, QO? Something's troubling you.
Oh, I'm going with NIP. Like it's the same feeling. Like it's like this
10
Warlock
seconds
rock is
remaining.
gonna be so useless.
Yep. Feel like it's not going to be good enough
5
here from
seconds remaining.
Alliance to get it done with the massive amount of team fight that they have. What about you, Darcy? Where are you going to tip it?
I actually think NIP's draft looks better overall. But I'm going to go against Kyo's final game, so let's go Alliance, baby.
All right, so you guys are going to split down the middle here for our third and final game between Alliance and NIP. And for the final time today, we're going to leave it with our casters. It's going to be Odie, Pixel, and Fogged.
Yeah, thank you very much. Game 3, the deciding one now. Alliance versus NIP. Fogged, what do you reckon? We're getting against some sort of fresh faces in terms of the hero department coming in. Limp's going to be rocking the mid Necrophos this game. So we saw what he did last time on the mid Underlord. We've had 2 games that have been pretty one-sided. Which way is this one going to go, Fogged?
I was muted, at least at the stream. You could hear me, but I do like what NIP has. I think their lanes are definitely really strong here. I think that I'm looking at Era to be this big playmaker. I think he can ruin a lot of Alliance's lanes in particular. I think it's a really good hero versus Necrophos too throughout the majority of the game. So
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, we'll see if NIP can sort of get back some of that magic that they had in Game 1. You know, Game 2, we did see Alliance just sort of rolling over them. When it comes to the lane setup, I mean, is there a chance that we're going to see some of that fall apart early again? You know, NIP, are we going to see some sort of tri-lane setup be tried once more here in this Game 3 in terms of
I don't think they have to. I actually really like the way that NIP can set up their
Prepare
lanes.
for
I think they
battle.
can snowball really hard on them. I also want to say that they kind of have to, because I do look at some things and I'm looking at NIP's lack of team fight. They are really good about their constant pickoff and their constant fighting all around the map with low cooldowns. But I do look at Alliance and they do have this huge combo that comes out. This Warlock, this Mars, even the Necrophos. Like they do have these very strong ultimates in comparison to kind of counter what NIP does have in that mid game.
So you're starting off already. Alliance moving around as the 4. Limp, the Necro, Nico, Baby Troll, Hanscam, Rubik, FNG, Warlock. Ready to hunt and see what they can find down here. It's just Misha on the Undying. And it's actually starting off, of course, with the brown boots. So we'll be closing the gap upon him.
I think the greatest Undying game, I agree. Does feel like they have some
30
pretty decent
seconds
tools to be able to
battle.
hit that tombstone. And these heroes don't really care too much about getting decayed. I think S4 is kind of the only one that really cares to get decayed too much in this game. The other heroes mind it too much, which is usually a good sign when you're playing versus Undying if you just don't really care too much about getting hit by it.
Yeah, I mean... the ward down, but yes, for gonna play it careful,
The
not try and
battle
contest these
begins.
runes. Zera actually get that from the high ground. Charlie is welcome down there. Same to be said on the other side. Alliance with that pressure, pushing away NIP from the 2 runes on the bottom half. So yeah, we'll see what the Undying's able to do. I mean, do you think there was some sort of aspect of it being picked, maybe hoping that Alliance would open up with another tri lane, as they did in game 2?
Not too sure, to be totally honest with you. I do think that his position bottom is really awkward, though. I feel like he wants to be top, and Clockwork wants to be down here.
I mean, but it looks like both of them are going to be. Era's walking down.
It's just a rocket to commit to subvert some harassment with the decays, and now some Whirling Death onto FNG. But yeah, Nico Baby will walk away. Okay, so they're just going to do an aggro tri-lane. Same thing as before, and they will. Okay, they'll send the Undying up top. I think that's appropriate.
All right, so indeed, with sort of the heroes they have, this is the best sort of way to set it up.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to lane Undying versus Strength Hero. It's kind of pretty clear cut as it should be. And just to secure your carries farm, as Clockwork can't help too much. So lane setups, I think I'm pretty happy with the way Alliance has it set up here.
Well, what
Just
about the mid
standard lanes?
Yeah, is this also a lane where Necrophos is just going to take over?
I feel like it's a good matchup for him, yeah. I do feel like he can. He can mess up a lot of those last hits we see right there already. He can mess with some of them with the heal. And he's just always shoving the lane in. That's the one thing that's a little bit annoying for Nature's Prophet. Sure, you have your trains to be able to trade and hits like that, but you can't actually push waves in at the same fashion as Limp can.
No, I was just looking at the sort of the CS that Limp's getting on top of just how much damage Supreme's taking. Whilst he's having to try and farm underneath his tower, and it's not easy for Supreme at all on these early levels.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it necessarily gets any better, really, right, as the levels start coming in. I feel like this is only just going to be more damage that Limp's going to be able to throw out Supreme's way.
Yeah, he should just do he should do perfectly fine. And we take a quick glance top as they try to make an aggressive move, and a quick glance bottom as we see Nico Baby actually pulls the whole creep wave behind his tower, by the way. So he just denies the whole wave from the Timber Saw.
And look at this FNG also holding the other wave in a position so it's not going under the tower. So not only is he going to be able to farm this wave and deny this from NRP, he's also going to have the other one ready and waiting for him as FNG holds it, tanking the creep waves, using the Shadow Word to heal himself up.
Okay, I think Necro should maybe win this matchup, but I don't think he should be 15-7 to 4-2. What's going on in the mid lane right now for Supreme? He's getting destroyed.
And through top lane, they get the catch, the combos there. They just burst through Misha. I mean, you said already it's not going to be an easy Undying game, and even finding the lane that he's against the Strength Hero going down first, that's not looking to be a great start.
This is insane. 21-7 to 6-3. Supreme. He's giving up his treants too. Like, that's more last hits than are in the lane. So Loop is getting last hits on those treants. Going more than perfect for this Necrophos mid. And their side lanes are doing just fine. Troll is free farming down bottom. They can't actually apply pressure with these two, with Timbersaw Clockwork versus this with the Warlock behind him. Well, I feel like Alliance, all 3 lanes look really, really good for them.
Yeah, how does this mid lane get any better? Like,
It doesn't.
This is not going to improve for Supreme at all.
Oh my, he's getting every single range. I think that's 4 range, at least 4 to 5 or 6. I don't know, maybe every single range creep denied. Limp is smashing Supreme right now. And Supreme, if you get too far behind in this one, Limp's gonna hit 6 and you're just dead.
Yeah, this is I mean, we saw last game Supreme struggle to recover his game after he fell behind so far in mid as the Void Spirit, and this time we're going to have to see what he does as the Prophet, as he is certainly going to be playing behind.
Spending a lot of time. Like, that's a second TP back to base. He's going to have a TP back to mid. He's going to miss some timing during it here. Limp, he's not missing any timing. He stacked the camp and checks the rune.
Is he going to get the rune? Oh, it's a DD. Oh. Oh, come on, Gabe, and have some mercy on Supreme.
Of course. Misha.
Oh.
No suicide to the tier 2 up top. Charlie will actually have to play versus this lane a little more here. And yeah, these decay stacks, they're not hurting S4 too much. He's actually able to bring it to Charlie and slow down the farm of this Ricky a bit. I'm sure you can see S4 infected, but yeah, he's able to actually play in the lane. Sometimes Undying just prevents you from doing so.
Well, we'll see in the mid. Yeah, one more wave.
Limp.
And that's going to be level 6 on Limp. And at that point, I don't know how you do lane. We're seeing Supreme might just be dead.
Might just kill him
actually
here.
might just be dead.
Just dead.
One more right click and a death pulse and he's dead.
Dire's middle tower
That's
is
a
under
fairy
attack.
fire. Limp. Can he find the vision? He won't actually do so. The fairy fire does save him, but I mean, I don't know how much of a good thing that is. I mean, Supreme now very low HP. He's...
Oh, look at Limp. He's actually going to go check the rune. He sees Supreme walking toward here.
With me.
Supreme is just going to jungle over here.
I mean...
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Say that again.
Nico Baby's free farming too.
Uh-oh. Alright. Top lane. Oh, S4. Stick charges and that's saving.
Dire's
Down away.
top tower
I
is
mean,
under
where's
attack.
sort of the good news for NIP so
It's
far?
top.
What was the top?
Yeah, it is still top. But Charlie still is doing a pretty good job of keeping that farm up. Top and bottom are going okay, but you know, this mid might be too much of a problem for you to really recover really good. And Glimp is just a monster. He has treads and double null. He has now going to be able to pressure the tower with the catapult wave. He doesn't even have his support rotating over just yet. They're just playing their lanes. Limp able to
Radiant
pressure by himself here
structures are fortified.
this first siege. And Supreme has to be careful. Now the rotation, Hanskin can just die
Dire's
here.
middle tower is under attack.
Did
What are they
Supreme
gonna
see
bring?
him? I don't think he did. Yeah, Supreme didn't see him. There is going to be errors to help out though. See if they still want to try and make a move on to Supreme. Hanskin. It's going to start things off if they've got
Dire's middle
enough
tower is
burst.
under attack.
They do.
Wait, what do you mean you didn't see him? He has a ward.
Wait, he has a ward.
He literally just watched.
He
the
has a
Rubik walk up.
ward. He has a ward. What's
Okay.
he doing? I mean, you're right, he has a ward, Fog.
Yeah, he stepped up.
He didn't play
Dire's
like he had a
middle tower
ward.
is under
He sure
attack.
didn't, and he's dead, and now his tower is probably dead as well. Uh-oh, NIP.
Oh no, Supreme.
Dire's
Things are
structures
crumbling pretty
are
quick in this
fortified.
first 7
Dire's
minutes.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. Yes, they are. How's the tower
Dire's
gone?
middle
6
tower
minutes in.
has fallen.
3-0, 3k lead for Alliance. Yeah, they're the sort of game one for NIP being nothing more than a bit of a pipe dream at this sense. It's just a distant memory. As game 3 looking to start and maybe go the same way as game 2 did.
And now Limp just backs up, hits some jungle creeps, and now it's always a fear. I think you have to be a little careful as NIP when this Necrophos is missing. Maybe right now you're assuming he's low, so you're okay to keep pressuring, but next moments, like Saberlight, you got to be careful on bottom when this can heal. He can look to set up kills on any of the lanes, really. And they're just going to move Nico Baby to mid because mid's free farm now. So he doesn't want to play in that pressure lane bottom. That was a little concerning for him versus level 6 Timber.
He doesn't need to. Yeah, the space is going to be fully there for him on mid. No real threat for him whatsoever. Top lane, Charlie.
Big Wrath.
Without the Wrath, Supreme will manage to get the one. They'll try for S4 as well. The zombies chasing him down. Turns with the spear onto Charlie. Supreme coming in with the TP underneath the tower. He managed to trap S4 in the Sprout, and they'll get another. Supreme, here he comes with the recovery. Able to get himself 2 kills out of that movement.
Very nice. First Wrath nature usage. Perfect. And bottom, Saberlight is able to get away from Limp as Limp did make that rotation down there. Recovery and pushing out both of the heroes out of the top lane for Charlie to be able to farm nicely. Nico Baby though, he's on Saberlight.
He's got the kill!
Oh my god.
What? How's he getting solo kills like that?
There's an ace drone.
What is happening?
It was a
I mean,
very
I
low
guess so.
Saberlight.
Yeah.
He just didn't expect him to do that, I guess.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, Sableye, he was the one having sort of the better time out of the laning stage, but he's just, yeah, just losing his life solo to Nico, baby. On the troll.
That's a 1,500 net worth lead now on the troll compared to the Riki, and he's going for the Battle Fury. And I you know, Kyo was the one who was mentioning in there. It's like if this troll goes Battle Fury, he's heavily favoring Alliance. So.
Have they got the damage? Oh, they haven't quite. Charlie, he's able to jump out with the tricks of the trade, and he'll live. I owe you one. Will survive here. That ultimate committed from S4 just not quite enough to burst through the Riki.
Still trying to go on up top though with this tombstone. S4.
Look for S4. They get the jump in. S4 goes down. Supreme again. He's making recovery. He really is. These movements after such a rough laning stage.
Saberlight mid. Very far forward. Limp's just there with the sight. Oh.
Radiant's middle tower.
Gets the kill. Another kill onto the Timber.
Never a good sign when you see Timbersaw dying pre 20 minutes. Usually feels that hero doesn't die in most games that he does get picked up. But this one, like we said though, he's at risk always. Especially when he plays that far aggressive. And Nico Baby is getting away with he's gonna have such an early Battle Fury if they don't start finding ways to slow him down.
Yeah, him and Limp's farm is just insane so far.
Yeah.
But the
this is a game where
given.
Troll really does reign supreme in this game. If it gets to like later stages, if he's able to farm this Battle Fury nicely. He's so good versus the cores.
There's some beautiful stats being made in the triangle for Alliance.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
For enabled up to his phase boots now. A lot more armor for him to kind of survive versus this Riki lane top if he does commit for it.
And for Limp, of course, the Tread Strums, Force Staff coming out. Of course, Force Staff is probably the best item you can buy this game against the smoke screen, the cogs, the sprout. It's going to help you get out of all of those.
Yeah, as many as them that they can buy, for sure. Yeah. All the supports should look for it as well.
Radiant are
I think the Rubik too can look for it. It's just such a good item versus those heroes, absolutely. I like that Limp's going for it though, rather than just depending on his supports, just having his own way to do it, because all he really needs to do is get out of the cogs and get out of the smoke screen fights.
Dire's structures
as he's going to be the one parked bottom. And FE gonna try to get aggressive onto him.
FNG is set behind him. FNG has got the 6. Got a golem ready if they do want to try and fight here. Supreme coming in as well. FNG's gonna find a setup for a big one here. Bombs down into the golem. Limp back up to full HP as Era. He's just stuck underneath the tower. Limp all low in the chakra, but he gets the death pulse deal. He's still alive. Arena happy to post Saberlight and Charlie. Charlie goes down. It's a double kill for Limp. He's ready to look over the wall. Saberlight, he's holding on to it. Now he'll drop it. Saberlight's down. Triple kill for Limp. As Alliance, it's just so scary for NIP pushing into these towers when you have this potential for turnaround. FNG just slamming down the bonds and the golem, and S4, he's always there. He TPs in, and the team fight presence from Alliance is so huge right now. Just this the whole combo, right, with the bonds and the arena just holding people within the vicinity of this Necrophos. It's just so destructive.
Is under attack.
He hit almost everybody with all of his pulses that he was able to cast there. 5-second cooldown, he gets a couple of them off. Also, they made the jump. They saw him with 20 wand charges. So you always have the fact that you see he Ghost Shrouds, he pops the wands, and it gives him absolutely full HP. I feel like that one was a very over-ambitious dive from NIP. This Timbersaw, he's not that strong. Like we said in this game, there's a direct counter for him with that Necrophos pick.
I mean, look at this as well. Nico Baby, he's clearing these ancients. It's going to be a 13-minute phase Battle Fury on the chop. This is one of the quicker timings on a Battle Fury we've seen here at this tournament. If not the quickest.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And we talked about how NIP, like their team fight, it's pretty lackluster. Like Tombstone is their best team fighting ability, and there's a Mars. God's Rebuke instantly kills all those zombies in most situations too. Yeah, these fights don't feel like they're gonna get easier for NIP, and I feel like with this lead for this Necrophos, like Limp is just, he's the king of the game. He can just stand as this frontliner, and they're just all making space. Like you said, Nico Baby's gonna have a 13-minute Battle Fury.
This is just an insane farm from Nico Baby in this game.
The
hook shot from Era coming out while we're just trying to get away. Yeah, it's a 3K lead for Alliance. NIP's strength still lying. I mean, Supreme, again, he, for all sort of the pressure that was behind him at the start, he is the one making the recovery. He's catching up. He's going to have a good timing on the Orchid. He will see if they can make plays with this.
They have to make plays. They can't just sit back and let Troll farm. They'll find
Bottom
S4
lane.
bottom.
What is this?
And they have to, I think Charlie has to like secure every single last hit right now. If your Ricky is not going around just getting kills,
Dire's
and this Troll's just
bottom
backed up
tower
with
is under
Battle Fury,
attack.
you're gonna lose this game. Like Ricky is your win condition to still be able to match, and this Troll is just way
Dire's top
more
tower
farmed with
is under
way
attack.
better team fight wrapped around him too. And IP has to kind of explode in these next few moments to really have a what feels like a shot in this mid/late game because of how farmed these heroes really are. And they will. They'll find FNG. Looks like bottom as well.
But G, thinking about dropping the golem there, he won't.
Go.
Yeah, they're definitely taking advantage of these opportunities that are being handed to them. Nico Baby's going to try and turn it onto Misha. I mean, they're still around NIP. So anytime that Limp shows, looks like NIP really are that scared. Now they'll drop the tombstone. Limp stepping a bit forward. Has been caught by the silence, but he has to force. Out to the side he goes, still getting low. With the hook shot from Era, they're gone. Limp's going to go down. Sprout control onto Nico Baby. They'll turn over towards the Tron. Nico Baby does have the ult though. If they do try and commit, and S4's turned up to help out. Slow onto Misha. S4 clips him with the spear. So NIP still want to try and fight this hand skins over to the side with control onto Supreme. Misha goes down. The arena's out for two of them. The pond. He's going to connect with the Charlie's trying for handskin. Handskin pulling low. Jump over from Charlie. Will allow him to secure the kill. He's trying for TP out. Anything to cancel it. There it is. S4 in with the spear. Pushes him off to the side. Got to rebuke. And the Shadow World will take Charlie down. NIP just hanging around a little too long after finding what was a massive kill for them. Killing off Limp. But they weren't able to back out in Diamond Alliance. They have the opportunity to, again, just come out on top.
That's how they have to play. They have to do these scrappy kind of fights, get these kind of kills whenever they do have a number advantage versus Alliance. But the problem is too, Nico Baby is still the one that gets the most out of this one. As Yasha finished up, he was farming during the entirety of all that pressure.
Era. Misha immediately on the hunt once more. Hook shots up. They're ready to find some action.
Ooh, they want Nico Baby, but
There's a lot of,
they have to get the silence on him.
There's a lot around. Uh-oh, he's just going to pop immediately at Era. He's just he's going to die. And now Misha, he's just going to go down as well. That's
Supreme
two
could be
kills
right in.
here. Well, he's not got any backup anymore. His backup is well and truly dead. As Supreme, that's just going to be another kill for Nico Baby. He just gets himself handed 3 kills, basically, that he's in the vicinity of. He clears up. And just as soon as he's got the Yash, he's pretty much going to have the full SMY thanks to that move.
Not that I need.
It's just handed to him. It is what the NIP kind of has to force, though. I feel like they have to force these pressure plays, but if the Orchid doesn't come out instantly, this is exactly what I was talking about. He just pops Battle Trance, and these two supports do nothing to Troll Warlord. Clockwork can't even kill his own cogs against poor Troll as the Whirling Axis comes out, and you just can't even hit your own cog to get out of it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
For now with the blink to get the plays going. This tops out. Will be Alliances.
Dire's top tower
Limp
has
has the
fallen.
plate mail now finished up too, so he's going to go for any type of dispel to remove that Orchid. It's going to be Lotus coming off for him, and they're really ticking the boxes of what they're playing against. While NIP, they're not solving the problem of Nico Baby.
Under attack.
The area here.
Jumping onto FNG, down the wall, jumping down for S4, he's going to turn and try and burst down Saberlight, locked down, and with the side, they've got him. Saberlight will fall, the soul reveal from Misha, not enough to help out. The tombstone's been taken out, Limp, held back for now by the Sprout. Nico Baby keeping himself on top of Misha. Misha's going to hold still with the Shadow Amulet. S4's in and on top of it. Pushing him off to the side. Another pick for Alliance. Charlie's trying to farm this creep wave. He's got to be careful. Jumps out of the side with the trick. The trade handskin. Teleport for handskin? Doesn't have to lift back up in time. 5 seconds on the telekinesis, so didn't have to catch.
Almost dies. If that Wrath bounced him, he was actually just going down there. But that's NIP. They're leading the charge trying to look for these kills because they know Warlock Golem is down, and they can only get a kill on the Warlock if there's always some type of ult for Alliance on the fields.
He's trying for S4, but S4's got Nico Baby by his side, and S4's able to pin out straight to the tree. Smoke screen is down. Charlie jumps across, but the golem's there from FNG along with the Charlie. Era's gotten down. Charlie's got to run, but they've got the detection. Lifts up from Hanskin, grabs him in position. as Nico Baby, he's just getting so involved. He's 7-0-5, an incredible battle Fury S and Y time. They're into the Roshan. This is going to be their Rosh, but without a question. This troll's getting just looking insane right now. He is just massive.
It's looking like everything's just being handed to him. Like literally, like he's just like walking around farming, and then 2 heroes show up. He's like, oh, okay, sure, I'll kill these 2. Oh, look, 2 more. It really feels like it's just the perfect game for Nico Baby, and I don't like calling it early, but it's like NIP. I don't see when in this game that they're ever going to be able to fight toe-to-toe versus Alliance. Like, even when Rock is down, there's always something available for Alliance to still be able to come out ahead inside the team fights.
Yeah, I mean, NIP, it's where do their strengths sort of do just lie within the pickoff. It's got to be Supreme and Charlie finding jumps on these side lanes whilst Alliance are pushing out alone, but Alliance have just, for the most part, not been caught out by those sort of moves. And at this stage, even if they do, some of these heroes, they're getting to the point where they don't even care. We're already seeing from Nico, but if you make any move near him at all, he will turn and he'll fight. He's not going to be taken down easily.
Oh, there's no way you kill him anymore. Like 2,000 HP, S&Y. He's gonna bash her too. Like it just feels like items are just flying off for him. Even pupils give, so he's super tanky because of all this too. And the Charlie, Ricky is not a farming hero. That's the thing. It's like he's almost half the net worth of this troll because he's just looking for fights.
Nico Baby just stepping up. He's deep, and there's 5 of them here. They do get the silence. They should be able to kill the 1-star, 4-star there to save it to the side, and now straight away he turns with the ult. Onto Saberlight, Sipes out as well as Saberlight down for another 70. Misha can't do anything right now as the Undying, as they'll turn towards him, pick up a second for Lim. It just doesn't stop. Every single time that they go on Nico Baby, it just ends in disaster. He just turns back up there, and he's just winning out on every single fight that he's involved.
Oh god, touch. Supreme shows his face, and he's just instantly dead. Oh, this game is so over. There's no recovery for NIP.
It's just, I mean, the question is, what happened to the NIP from game 1? Or do you think it's more of a question of where was Alliance in game 1?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah. This game 2 and game 3 have not looked close at all.
No, Alliance kicked it up a notch. Like everything just seems to be perfect for them. From draft to play as Nico Baby bottom. Bit far up.
There's a golem. And Nico Baby, he's still got the Aegis. They're buying back for this kill upon him. Let's see if they can do it twice. They get him the once. Can they do it a second time? Limp's heading over. This was 2 buybacks from NIP to try and commit for this, but Esbel comes in. Through onto Supreme. Nico Baby's over. Supreme's going to go down. Saberlight's new focus as he's rooting him. He's by this troll. He's going to fall. Double kill for Nico Baby. He's now got chasing down Misha, and Charlie gets another there with the help from Lim. Charlie speared to the tree by S4. I think we might be calling it good night pretty soon. As there it is. GG is called as Alliance. Well, I mean, they certainly redeemed themselves after game 1. Game 1 did not look like the Alliance I think a lot of people expected to see from this series. But game 2 and game 3, Alliance, they put the hard work in, and they did make these